say thank you for everyone at TIFF. I've missed you guys so much. There is no audiences in the world like Toronto, and so we're so happy to be back. I've been coming here since Requiem for a Dream, when there was an ambulance in the middle, and someone had a little panic attack, but they kept the film rolling, so I was always thankful. There won't be any panic attacks tonight. I've gotten a little older and a little bit more calm, so. You know, we've all lost a lot in the last few years, and the big thing that we've lost was human connection. And the thing about film is that it is all about human connection in two ways, right? First, there's this room right now, which is the definition, theatrical human connection. Thank you, A24, for releasing us theatrically. And then there's also the human connection of when you watch a movie, right? Watching a movie is an exercise in empathy. It transports you into the body and soul and spirit of someone who can be completely different from you. Bring out is the MacArthur Genius Award-winning Sam Hunter. Casting it was really hard, and perhaps the hardest role in some ways was the role of Thomas. And I had to find someone who could really have incredible innocence, but was still a great actor, which, you know, actors lose their innocence pretty early. So, that's such a joke. But eventually I found the great Simpkins. Yeah. At the beginning, she was in my mind to play the role of Ellie, and it's just been amazing to watch the rest of the world really celebrate her. And the upside of this human's career is boundless. I have no idea where it's going to go, but as a fan, I can't wait to see and watch it with you. Please welcome Sadie Sink. And so, oh yeah, that's it. Oh no, yeah, well actually, yeah. So there's a reason it took me 10 years to make the film, and that was because casting Charlie was a really difficult feat. As you'll see, it's such a demanding role, emotionally and technically, and I considered pretty much every single actor on the planet, and met with tons of actors, and nothing clicked. And then I saw a trailer to a low-budget Brazilian film in Portuguese, and a supporting role with Fraser, and my heart was like, holy shoot, sorry. And I thought of him, and something clicked deep inside. And from that moment on, I knew we had Charlie, and I never doubted for a second. Please, a warm welcome to reintroduce the great Right, there's people up there too. Hey guys. What a beautiful theater. Thank you, TIFF, once again. We'll be here afterwards for any questions. I hope you enjoy the film. Director, Darren Aronofsky. rules to play tonight because it's Sam Hunter's birthday.
Thank you. Probably my most.
Darren, I want to start off with, can you talk to us about the moment you first encountered Samuel's text and, seeing the play, and what was the inciting incident and motivating factor for you to bring his story to the screen?
Yeah, I remember the New York Times article, just reading through the Times and being like, oh, I'm going to like that. And I went to see it off-Broadway at Playwrights Horizon, a really great institution in New York. How many seats? Small?
125.
125 seats. And I was just deeply moved because, as I said before this started, these characters are not me, but I completely understood them and felt them and was connected to them. And there's so many themes in that are present in my other work. So that's the beauty, once again, is real, rich human characters. And I gotta say, it is the best text I've ever worked with. And when you make a movie, you watch every scene hundreds, if not thousands of times. And even tonight, I'll see a line and I'll be like, oh, there's a little connection there that I missed. So it's just very, very rich material, and the challenge was how to make it cinema, but I knew that in there was just great characters and people would love to spend some time with them.
You seem to have this brilliant knack of connecting with actors and finding actors in this rare moment. I think about the wrestler. I'm wondering if you can talk about, working, collaborating, or coming up with the notion that you wanted to work with Brendan on this film, and just how that process all came to be.
Well, as I said, it took a long time to find the right actor at the right time. It's not a calculation. To be honest, like Mickey, I understood that there was this, there was a real interest from, I know a lot of actors looked up to him, and with Brendan, it was purely the connection of seeing him as a human being, meeting him, getting an energy from him, and just, it was such a deep gut feeling. So I don't know if there's like any calculation going on of trying to do something like that. It really is finding the right actor for the job that gets me excited to wake up. And the same things with Sadie and Ty. It's like actors that are hungry is a super important thing, because all of these roles are really difficult, and I knew they were going to be hard. And even though A24 was generous, it wasn't a huge film in any way, and people would be doing it for the right reasons, which was for the passion and for the work. And you just have to find the actor at the right time in their career, ready to work hard, and that's what I always look for.
Brendan, it would be great to hear from you. You had been out of Hollywood in the studio system for a few years, and I'm wondering though, what did it take for you to put your trust in Darren to take on this, very difficult role, and just what was your process in making this decision? And it clearly paid off.
Well, I heard that Darren was going to direct a movie, and Mary Renew was send the word around to...
Mary Renew is here in the house.
She said, would you be Darren? Absolutely. So I did. I went to his office. It was a frozen afternoon in January, and We talked about the project. There was no script available to me at the time. He told me it's about a man living with a burden of regret, and he's been harming himself by overeating, and he wants to reconnect with his daughter and let her know how much he loves her. But he's running out of time. And hey, look, those are really the only things I knew about it. I knew already. Those are big objectives to play, big obstacles, and the substance of something that I know Darren would wrap his arms around and make an impressive piece of cinema from. So of course I wanted to be a part of that.
Thank you. Let's take a few from the audience. Let's go right here.
I have a question for Darren. I noticed some cinematic parallels between some of your other films, like the father-daughter dynamic, the wrestler, or still losing touch with reality, like in Lifeline or Requiem for a Dream. So what were some that you encountered when you first saw the source material?
I'll just repeat. So, if you want to talk about some recurring themes that are present here in some of your other films, is that?
I kind of leave that for my therapist. I don't know why I'm attracted to these stories. I guess I just connect and relate to the characters. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't have much to say about it except that it's just it's always about, for me, when I'm transported into a character that I don't really expect. I did this little film. I produced a little film called Pacified, which you should all seek out, about a 13-year-old girl growing up in favela in Rio de Janeiro. And I know nothing about that world, but I loved it because I was just transported into her world. And so that's I think, the beauty of cinema, and why we have to keep this alive, is that ability for the art form to take us and to put us into someone else's story.
Yes, go ahead.
How to make a dynamic movie out of a play. Yeah. But I'd love to talk, Sam, if you could talk about just some of the origin of the play, because I think people would love to hear a bit about that and then how I turned it.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote. Thank you, by the way. Thank you so much for having me. I started working on this play about 13 years ago, and I was teaching expository writing at the time, and desperately trying to connect with my students who really hated the course, and by extension me. And so at one point in the semester, I taught it a few of you guys, at one point in some class, I just kind of got a little desperate and was like, please just write me something honest. And one of my students wrote me a line that ended up in the play and in the movie, which was, I think I need to accept my life is going to be very exciting. And it broke my heart in half. And I knew I wanted to write something about an expository writing teacher trying to connect with a young person, which led me to the story. And I had a few false starts, but it wasn't until I kind of put some more personal stuff on the line. This is set at the time in which I grew up in North Idaho. I was a gay kid there. I went to a very religious school that taught me that I was going to hell. And for many years, I self-medicated with food and got to be pretty big. And of course, it's not everybody's story who's big. There's plenty of people who are big and happy and healthy, but that wasn't me, and that wasn't the story that I wanted to tell. And it was hard to write for that reason, because it felt very vulnerable. I'm glad I wrote it. I don't know if I would have urged to write it if I knew I would be standing on the stage right now. But
Get used to it. Get used to saying
to your point, it is a very contained play. And I remember when Darren first reached out to me about making it into a film, I had never written a movie. I mean, I think I bought Final Draft to write this movie. And I remember being nervous at the beginning because I thought, well, no, maybe he wants to open it up. And different locations and things like that, and which I know is probably the standard practice when you're opening up a play, or when you're adapting a play, but I just felt like it didn't want that. And before I had even said anything, I think it was like our second meeting, Darren was like, no, let's keep it in the apartment. And I was like, that's the right choice, it's the difficult choice, but it's the right choice. And so I'm glad, that was 10 years ago. We've been working on and off on the script for 10 years, and I'm glad it took 10 years, because I think it took 10 years to make it the right way and find the cinematic language for this two-bedroom apartment.
Yeah, it was, look, boundaries, I'm an independent filmmaker originally, and I love my restrictions. Pi was $20,000, and so out of restrictions becomes tremendous creativity, hopefully. And so my mentor, Stuart Rosenberg, great director, directed Cool Hand Luke, I was a student for a few years. He always said that there's only one place to put a camera in a scene, and you get that from the theme and then from the moment. And so this was really for me that exercise fully to honor Stuart, my mentor, in trying to just honor the theme and the scene and have the camera in the exact right place as dictated by Sam's script and by the performances of the actors here on stage. So that's what cinema is. The basic part is text, performance, and a camera.
Great. Great to hear from Sadie and Ty. Obviously the opportunity to work with Darren, not going to pass up. But I wonder if you could talk about just what drew you to the script, and also what was the collaboration like working with Darren?
Yeah, I got asked to do the reading that you guys held pre-COVID, and I think you guys sent me the script like the day of or something like that. So I skimmed through it and then just showed up at the random theater, got sat next to Brendan, and we read The Whale. And I think, I don't know, like during the scene, I've just never seen writing so rich, and these characters were just, I don't know, they're living and breathing. And I don't know, I empathize with Ellie specifically so much, not only that I relate to her, but I just understand her and saw her pain before anything else, I think. And yeah, I was just like thrilled to work with Darren to get that opportunity. It's amazing.
Yeah, so I got the audition in February of 2021, right before we started to film. And I sent in I beat in an audition tape. I sent it in. 2 days later, they told me I was going to be meeting with Sadie and Brendan on Zoom. And I live on the West Coast, and we were filming on the East Coast in the middle of winter. So they told me in the audition that I was going to be flying the next day to film the movie. And I packed up all of my Southern California tank tops and board shorts and went to the middle of nowhere in New York to film in 20-degree weather every day. So that was great. No, but what really drew me to the character in particular was just honestly, like Sadie, I kind of empathize and understand the character's struggles. I grew up somewhat religious when I was very young, and kind of understanding, like, not fully trusting what I'm being told kind of really drew me into Thomas. And getting to explore that with someone like Darren was just, it's a real honor. It's a real big learning experience. And just being in a movie like this is insane, especially working with Brendan and Sadie. They're all amazing. So, yeah.
Yes, go ahead. We'll go up there.
This question is for Brandon. Is there something that you discovered about yourself that perhaps was unknown going into this project?
The question is for Brandon. Did you discover something about yourself that was untapped before going into this?
I learned that to play a person, a corporal being, as such as Charlie is, that you need to be an incredibly strong individual to be that man. Because at the end of the day, I could take the apparatus off, and while I felt a bit of dizziness, something about that stayed with me until we came back and did it the next day, and even for maybe about some time after we finished the film too. I learned that you just invest everything you can and give it what you got as if it's the first and last time you ever will again, something important can come of that. And I think that with your help, we might be able to change some hearts and minds.
Okay, let's go up top. There's a votes up. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, middle balcony here.
That you so much emotionally, mentally, physically. Can you talk about the trust that you all have with each other when there were moments that they kind of keep up while filming to post?
Can you talk about the level of trust that you would enforce on set when there were difficult moments that you were filming in the script and things were getting emotional? Do you enforce any kind of practice or anything like that with the actors to keep a level of calmness on the set?
Sadie, that was a question for you, I think.
I mean, it was such a small crew, and most of the scenes were just taking place between two people. So having those vulnerable moments, I think, I don't know, it just felt so contained, and I felt really supported. It was such a supportive environment. And without all the bells and whistles, it's really easy to just kind of like focus and I don't know, let it all spill out.
We also had the luxury of rehearsing for 3 weeks before we started. With a big up floor, Darren said, we're in theater company. So we rehearsed with stand-in props. We even had to obey that the tape on the floor meant there was a wall there, and we weren't allowed to walk through it.
Like when they, you walk into it, they can walk around, so everyone's like, really?
It worked!
I'd love to give a shout out to some of the crew members that are here, just to the producers, my partner in Protozoa, and then creative producer Ari Handel. Jeremy Dawson, who navigated us through COVID and made us our composer, Rob Simonson, and the first time we worked together, but brilliant job, Rob. And the only guy who can live in one room with me for a year, my editor, Andy Weissler.
You got something in mind there? Yeah. Sure, the person who just said me.
Question for Brendan. I want to understand the experience of playing a character on set that requires so much makeup on set.
Makeup and design was by Canada's own Adrian Moreau. Body scan with an iPad in my driveway, followed by the design of Charlie in a virtual model, a 3D printing process, and then using more traditional methods of silicates and formulas to create the applications. Skipping a step in the middle for hand modeling and clay other compounds. So that meant that Charlie's body is so exact down to the size of the pores, the placement of each hand-punched hair, that the first time I walked in the shop and saw his torso on a mannequin, I thought somebody ripped off the Tate Modern or something, because there was a work of art in front of me. It belonged for you to see it. It's such a fulfillment for me to have had the privilege of wearing Adrian's work to play the role, because without it, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done this. I absolutely could not.
To add to that, it was, I think the second or third phone call I made after we decided to do it, just to see if it was possible, was to Adrian, because there is a long history of creations being made that basically is characters that are living with obesity are often punchlines and just really not taken as serious characters in film. And this, we were trying to do the exact opposite, which was to, within 5-10 minutes of watching the film, is to have people start getting past their prejudices and to open up their hearts to Charlie. And so it was really important that we were realistic and not trying to make something farcical. And that's why it was such a huge challenge and undertaking.
Charlie's body obeyed gravity and physics. I will admit to maybe a light CG curative step. That might have been if the fabric was acting up one morning or something, just to not take your mind out of that this is a creation. And I don't believe that we have seen a makeup and costume combination of this authenticity that's been put on the big screen before.